Well, hello folks. Welcome, 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 welcome. So, gonna do a small 16 by 12 one today, and I'm going to take my time with it. I'm not going to be in any rush to do it. So I'm going to put a little bit of Galkite out here, just a touch. I'm mainly going to be working with mineral spirits, but the top layer will be Galkite, so it can come along and glaze over the top of it, give it some nice darks and warm colors. So today, now, I suppose I had better just start at the start. Let's move over to the palette here. We begin with mineral spirits: Galkite medium, lamp black, ultramarine blue, titanium white, transparent oxide red, raw umber, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, and phthalo green. So what I'm going to do here now, I suppose I might tell you what's on the canvas here. The canvas is pinned to a corkboard. On the corkboard is a black lining just for recording video purposes. And on the canvas is a square, a rectangle, and the ratio is 16 across and 12 down. Okay. Now you see these wee ticks off the side of the rectangle, these little pencil ticks. That is just for me to get the thirds, to give me an idea that the tree should probably go here and a bit of sun go here maybe, and just give me an idea where things should land on the canvas. Now, right, so I'm going to start with a very loose mixture and darks as well. There's going to be some oxide red, nice and loose mixture, and some phthalo green, nice and dark and warm. So let me see now. Let me just go up in here, just get the idea of some things happening here. All right. Some blue as well, just to help darken, a wee bit of lamp black, just to get some variations wherever it is I'm going here. I say just come across here. I'll do as a bit of an embankment. So a little bit more phthalo green. Okay. I go. I'm putting some cool colors in here, a little bit of ultramarine, putting in some cool colors. And I don't mean cool as in Fonzie cool. Just a nice cool. Now I know that ultramarine is a warm blue, but comparatively, compared to what's down, it is a cool color. Let's see what we have here. I'm just being loose for the time being. All right. Just trying to get things to develop on their own, as it were. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of sky on. I'll take a different brush here. I'm going to make a mix. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put out a cerulean blue. It's a different type of blue. There now. Oops, that is maybe a bit too much. I don't have to say, I don't like the wide mouth on these Winsor & Newton color ones. You're kind of forced to put out more than you need, and you have to get a palette knife out and scrape it. I really wish they would change that. Anyway, enough complaining. Let's get a little bit of cadmium red here, just to warm this sky up a little bit. A little bit more ultramarine. Now I'm going to put in some Galcade just to help it dry off a bit. I don't want to grey it out a bit. Okay. Let me see. It's a wee bit more blue maybe. Daddy, all right. I want to put this guy on relatively thick instead of too much mineral spirits, because I'm going to be working into it, which means it's going to be hard to come back later and go over it. Not impossible, but I'm trying to make my job as easy as possible here as well. At the same time, why make it difficult for yourself if there's no need for that? Okay, I'm going to put a bit of a yellow in this guy here, a little bit of a yellow and a pink, a little bit of a cadmium red just to pull this blue down from here. Yeah, see now, nice and rough. Nice and rough. Let's get some yellow in this and see where it goes. And a little bit of red, just a little bit of oxide red, just to kill that yellow. It's a bit too yellow for me, so a lot more white. That's a bit better. Now the reason I put that red there is so that I can take this yellow up into it and cover a lot of it up before it goes green. It's a little trick. Yeah, so that yellow, you look at yellow. You just need to look at yellow and it'll go green on you. So just a little trick is just to put a little bit of red somewhere close to it. A little bit of cadmium red just to help kill it. Help kill the chances of the green happening. Alright. Now down here I want to go green. But I'm going to come up into this scale a little bit. Now in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to wipe some of it out, because I don't want it to go too green. I do like a green sky, don't get me wrong, but there are times for it. And there are other times. And this ain't one of them. This ain't one of them. Okay, like I said, I'm going to be a wee bit careful today. I'm in no rush. There now, nice and gently. Just taking those clouds up, that yellow into that sky there. I'm going to deal with what's down here in the distance here first. It's going to be yeah, I think that'll do for now. Just as let people know there's something down here, way off in the distance, maybe a bit darker than that. I'm already using what's down here, what I've used in the foreground here. And kind of a soft tree shape off in the distance here. I don't know how long this video will be today. I have no plans to go anywhere or do anything. So hopefully you get to see it completed today. Well, not completed. I never really completed in one sitting. I like to what is it I like to do, folks? What is it? I like to come along later and glaze and things like that. So I'm just softening this blue up here. Just softening that, those edges there, just. I think it's too. I think it's too much blue, or too much yellow, sorry. Just gonna knock it back a bit. Go into it now. This is where we'll create some greens. I'm just gonna roll into it though. I'm not going to be that's too. I'm not going to be pushing my brush into it and creating the green, so I'm not. But this also here creates the broken clouds and the broken skies. Just rolling the brush into it. See now, that's the same color. What I'm putting down there is the same color that's down, and then I'm just rolling it down into the yellow, as if it's broken, as if these parts of the yellows is broken off. Okay, that's good. Right now, so I'm going to work on, what should I work on now? I think I'll just darken these areas here to give myself a bit of a silhouette. I'm gonna use some Galcade, but some mineral spirits. I like mixing them. There's that green and a nice red. And that's the transparent oxide red. I'm gonna put the blue in, of course. Now this is already relatively tacked up. So it is. So it should. I should be able to leave some good textures behind on this. Just change this one up a wee bit. I don't want them all to be the same. So a little bit of raw umber and some blue here. So that whenever you're up close and personal, you'll see this. So you'll see the difference. I don't want to go in too far here. I want the light to be shining through. Just let me get myself a horizon here so I know where I am. Okay. Now you see, I don't like this green here. This here, it needs to be grayer. So it's much grayer. In fact, you know what? I'm actually going to lift up this horizon a little bit more. I'm alright with that now. Okay. Now I'm going to deal with that right now, forthwith. Yeah, I think it's too green. Now I think I'm beginning to like this. Yeah, that's a bit better, so it is. Get that silhouette of those trees off in the background. And I'll close it in a little bit with some of this tree action going on here. Okay. Let me see. Let's work on this on the water here. And it is a cerulean color I'm going for, with some lamp black and a little bit of red, a little bit of cadmium red, but mostly cerulean. Let me see how dark that is. All right. I think. It's a bit too blue, but I can grey that out, so I can right now. There. Just using the colours that are down just to help grey it out a bit. Now I want to get some grading going on here. That's a bit better. Some gradient. It's heading up to here, and then I'll get a nice red and orange around it. Now a bit more white as I'm moving up. Some yellow in that there from that. Okay, that'll help grey it out too a little bit. Now, let's get in some of the oranges from the sky here. So I just want to be careful as to where my shadows and stuff, or my reflections and stuff are here. Okay. A little bit of yellow and a little bit of cadmium red, and then lots of white, just to get me a bit of an orange here, just to come off. See, the parts of these trees are going to have oranges in it, so there's going to be some mixture here. So there is. Now, whenever I'm coming down into the water, I'm going to be careful as to not turn it green. So I'm going to use the edges of that and make it a bit red. And then I'm going to make the center white-ish. Okay, or pink. Just being abstract, folks, or as abstract as it can be at this stage. Now I'm going to blend this in, but I'm not going to really, I will be using my blender brush later, but at the minute I'm just being rough, trying to create a gradient here while being rough. You can see that reflecting down into the water. Now, right, so now we're motoring. Now I can get to see it a bit better. So what am I after? A nice soft brush, and I'll use a fan brush here to get these darks in. I'll use some lamp black. I'll use some lamp black and some red here, oxide red with some Galcade, some phthalo, and a bit of mineral spirits. It just helps it along the way. Okay, give me a nice small verge here, just. Okay. Always keeping it rough. Always trying my best to keep in mind where I am and what I'm doing here now. I'm bringing up some of this purposefully. Some of this reflection up into the water here, just to lighten it a wee bit, blend it out a wee bit. No, I think that's a bit too much. So what I'm going to do is just have there's a bit of sky on this too. So I'm just purposefully dragging this down into it, just to create that soft transition there. Now, I'm not ready to do it here yet. There's other things going on over here. Okay. Just rolling it up into there, just so that you can see that it's not all soft and blendy. Okay. All right. So, just back to my series 303 here. I want to create some edges here on this, and I want an orange edge because the light is shining directly through it. I don't want an orange green edge or an orange blue edge, I just want an orange edge that I can. Is that too? I'm going to lighten that a little bit of white in this. I think it's just a bit too stark, and that's just a bit too white. Okay, I'm just slowing myself down, taking it easy. There now. No rush, folks, no rush. Okay. This may be a job that'll be better served when it's dry, but at least I'll have the idea of it in. And that's important. So it is. It's important you know where you are in these things. Let me make a bit of a purple up here just because it's there. Now, I think I want this to be a little bit further on in, so let me just kill that a little bit with some of this. Okay, now we're bringing this in a wee bit more here. Okay. Now, just going to use one of my wee trusty makeup brushes here, just to get the edges the way I want them. I'm working on the edges within the edges, if you kind of can see what I mean for now. And then I'm just softening the insides of these here at the moment. And then I'm going to go up and soften the very edges themselves. Just give me a moment. And again, I'm just touching. No more, just touching. I don't want this to be spreading all over the place. Okay, just touching. And no more. Leaving the odd hard edge here and there. Not everything has to be the soft edge. Alright, now that's too much of a transition there. So bring that down up and in. Right, that's a bit better now. Okay, now I'm going to bring this across, I think, just a bit. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it without wiping anything out here. I'm just going to dry, get this all in the right tone for me at the minute. A little bit of Galcade, just dragging this across, and then bringing you out to here, as if that's where you're always meant to be. Okay, and it looks a bit dark now, but once I start getting everything into it, it'll all make sense, I promise. Right. Whoops, whoops, oh, 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 and then okay. Right, now, this is where the colored stuff comes in. I think I'll wash that off, actually. Get to work on some of the colors here before I move on any further. This will brighten up these areas in and around here. So, okay. Let me see. I'll start off with a bit of an orange. See where we end up. A bit of a light orange, doesn't have to be. Because we've got a real powerful sun coming through here. Can't see it yet, but it is there. And and it's starting here, so it is. Okay. Alright, now, obviously it's going to be a lot brighter than that by the time I finish with it. But all I'm doing here is giving myself the idea of where it is, where the edges are, where the embankment is, where the grasses are growing. A little bit of that, a little bit of phthalo, and a little bit of cadmium. I'm just going to come up into here. All right. See now, this is where it's going. I'm just pushing this tree back a little bit here. Now, this is getting there, so it is. I want to make sure that I have this tone of this tree the way I want it. So I'm going to create it. I'm going to create the oranges around here. I don't want too orangey, but I do want it a noticeable bright orange that's marking these areas here. And now that's a good thing here, folks, is that I can come back tomorrow if I think this is too bright and simply grey it down. I can grey it down right now if I choose. Okay, now. I just going to blend this in now. There now. Okay, now we're getting there a little bit, so we are. Just remember, we have the option always of taking the sky back into the tree. So let's see what we can do here. Making this, I just want to make this tree a little bit bigger, a little bit more imposing. I'm just taking the edge of that. Alright. Now, I do not like these trees. I don't like them in the background. I don't like them. I think they're I want to grey them out. I think they're far too blue. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to do it. But I'm going to use a wee bit more of a precision brush. Just one of my wee cheap dagger brushes here. And that should do it. So I'm going to put a bit of raw umber on it just to grey it. So let me see what that does. It definitely greys it. A wee bit more. Let's mix it with what's down. And a bit brighter than what I'm going. I can always darken it down if I'm not happy with it. Yeah, a bit brighter still. This is just a game of compare and contrast, folks. So there's a game, painting is a game of compare and contrast. So it is. You don't like it over here, and then you do something over here and it changes over there, and that's part of it. That's all what it's meant to be doing. So whenever you find yourself constantly correcting yourself, don't doubt that. That's the way it's meant to be. Especially at the start, it should happen, and you should be glad that it's happening, because the more it happens, the more you realize you're doing it right. You're doing it right. Just don't purposefully make mistakes so that you can compare and contrast, but let them happen. Okay, I still think that's a bit dark, you know, but I will actually leave that one until tomorrow. So I will. So I'm going to go back to the sky color here, I'm just going to come in on it here with some blues down in here just to break this up a bit. All right, and the same down here. Oops. There. Just put some sky in the thing. And what I'll do actually, while I am at it, I will do the same with the yellow here. Okay, and just go into the tree here a little bit. A little bit more weight than that actually. I'll break off into the tree. A little bit up here too, and here. Just to help add some shapes to these branches. For now. Always for now. That's something you should remember too. Everything is changeable. Okay. So now I'm going to work a little bit on this area here. I'm thinking, folks, I'm in two minds as to what to do. As to what to do. Just do this little bit of a hedge here, just. What is happening here is I sometimes like to get it done in one sitting as a wee exercise, but then I get into it too much and I find that I want to just keep going and keep going and keep going. I enjoy it so much. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I believe that I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to fix this area up here. I'm not happy with this at all. Not even a little bit. I couldn't pretend to be happy about that one. But we're putting some ultramarine blue, and it was a wee tiny bit of oxide red there. So I'm just going to come up into here. There we go. Just didn't like the way that was sitting. It's early days for this area of it yet, but still. Body boom 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 boom. Body boom 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 boom. Body boom 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 boom. We shall see. We shall see. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe a lot off this brush. And it's still a little bit wet. I'm just going to gently drag this down. Clean it off because there's some white on it. Now this is the tedious part of this. I have to keep cleaning it off. Do what I do, do what I say, folks, not what I do. Okay. So. Why? Okay. I'm just gonna clean the brush off here. Nice orangey colors around here, just because I want them. I think it would fit well with the with what's up here. A little bit of raw umber and that, just to knock it back a touch. Where did I? There it is there. A little bit more. Okay, just to knock it back a touch. Keep it nice and warm too. Brighten it up a little bit, a little bit of white. And I think any colors that I want in here, I'll glaze them in. All right. Okay, I think I could carry on, but I'm not. Just for my own purposes here, just so that I know where things are. I'm just going to lay down a little bit of a border on the water. All right. I think for the time being, that will do. Well, not really, but I'm just going to blend some things in here. Just don't want them to be too harsh. Okay, a little bit of this here and just bringing it up into here. Okay. I'm not keen on this area. But I think these are easy fixes, I must say. They are easy fixes. You don't need to, just going to grey it out a bit. I think all the problem that I don't like it is that it's just too uniform or something. It's too much the same colour. Is all. I think that's the only thing that I'm not enjoying on this. So I'm just going to put in little bits of different shades of green. Let's see. I'll soften it up somewhat. Just a touch, just a. I'm feeling a bit better about that now. Sometimes it just takes a gentle touch. Okay, right folks, that'll do for now. I'll see you in a few seconds, but for me it'll probably be tomorrow. Have a nice time. Bye now. Okay folks, back to this one today. I can't remember the last time I worked on this. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to warm it up a little bit. I want this to be a nice warm sunny day as the sun is rising up, creating a nice haze and sunny day. So today is going to be a glaze over this, and all I'm using here is a pastry brush, an old natural hair pastry brush, just to do the glazing. I'm going to be careful with the glazing as to where I'm placing it, and it is almost exclusively going to be transparent oxide red. Exclusively. Let me see. All right. Let me put it along here. I think that might be too strong. A little bit more. A little bit more. Just too strong, folks. Wipe it on, wipe it off. Not what Mr. Miyagi says. Wipe on, wipe on, wipe off. Just a bit too strong, folks. And all I'm doing here is coloring what's down. Just giving it a tone across the top of it. Alright, I want to go a wee bit darker, a wee bit in here. Just in here, keeping that nice and warm and around the edges. Okay, now coming up into the sky, we're going to be a little bit more careful here. Now I'm going to be taking a lot of this off too, folks. Remember, this is just being wiped on for now. And I'm going to wipe a lot of it off wherever I see fit. Now let's come up into the sky here. This red should help grey out that sky a bit. And then create a nice tone for this in here. Now, let's take the guts of this off. And it should leave behind a nice warm tone. You just want to get a clean cloth here, or a clean kitchen towel. I'm sorry about the sound of this kitchen towel if it bugs you. You see, now look at that. I'm just taking the most of this off in and around the sky area, and it has properly grayed it out for me. That's good. I like that. And the same up in here, just in and around the bluer areas. So we're not left with those big streaks that the pastry brush left behind. Now that has grayed it out somewhat and warmed the painting up somewhat. And now down in here. Alright, now folks, that's nice enough. Happy enough with this now, the way this has turned out. That's good. So now, time to I'll just get that brush cleaned off before it tacks up. Now, let's see where we are. I want to bring this yellow up into the clouds, up into the sky a little bit more, and I'm okay with this area here. I think that's quite nice looking. Bring in some more reds around the edges here. Let's just begin with what's down. So it is today. It's going to be a Galcade day, Galcade medium. Now, what did I say I was going to do? Yes. All right. Galcade medium, and that'll help it just having a wee check here, folks. The Galcade medium will help it dry pretty quickly. It should be tacky again by tomorrow, but maybe I'll finish this today. I'll see where I am. Look at that. It's creating variations here. They're just I like this tree line here, so I'm just going to be careful in and around this area. Excuse me, but I have to cough. Okay. A little bit of raw umber, and that just to knock it back a little bit is all. Oh, there we go. I just scumbling and glazing this up into the sky. A little bit brighter as I'm moving away, so that it affects the sky a bit. You see, look at that. I'm not going to be too careful with it at this stage. I'm just creating those nice differential there. I'm going to, just for my own reference, put a bright area in here. And I will calcate it up a little bit and just place myself a little bright area right about here. There. Alright, just for now. I'll work on that a wee bit later. Right, so I want to work on the edges of this. Some orange. Get some orange in this. A bit too orange, a bit too much cadmium red in that. You just don't want it to be too bright in the sense that it smacks you in the face, or at least that's not what I'm after today, and far too much on the brush for the job that I'm trying to do. I just take, there we go, just taking some of that off the brush, and I will wipe some of that off. All I'm trying to do is color the edges a bit here. Right, so let's remove some of that. Just dab that off. There we go. Alright, same over here. Okay, we have reflections to think about too. Alrighty, now time to get into the meat of it. Let's create some light in this area here. Now I want to come over here and put a little bit of coolness over here and a wee tiny bit up in here as well. Some colder, not coolness, just a little bit colder, just for some contrast. That's all I'm doing here. Just want some contrast. And we'll put a few purples in there and see how it works. See how it turns out. A little bit darker. Put a little bit of, just desaturate it a little bit with some lamp black. And I still think that's far too saturated, so I'll use some raw umber. That should knock it back a bit. Alright, now let me see. As I say, I just want some cool in here, so I do. Some coolness, just to get a bit of a contrast going. Don't want too much on the brush. This is a scumbling day and a glazing day. Just creating a coolness going on here. We're moving away from I don't like this bright area here, which I'm going to fix up in a moment. And the same over here, I'm not keen on that one. Let me see, let me just... Bit too purple. We'll grey that out a touch. This is just for variation, folks. So just to get the idea. There's a lot of different things going on. You just take it off, dab it on, take it off. It always leaves a trace of it behind. That's all I'm trying to do. Just leaves a trace of things behind. Okay, now just let me have a moment here. Right, I want to fix this. I don't like that. It's throwing me off. There's no rhyme or reason why I shouldn't like it, but it's distracting me. I'm going to get rid of it in order to get rid of that distraction. And yeah. That's too much. There now. You see how that's just getting rid of that distraction for me. And let's take a wee bit of that off. And again, that has come back, but it's an easy fix. There we go. Right. I want to get rid of this one over here too. Don't know what it is today, but I'm feeling a bit. Need to clear my throat a bit today. Hope it doesn't bother you too much. I just darkening this edge a bit. Too much on the brush again. You'd think that I would have learned by now, wouldn't you? Just taking a little bit off the brush. I just wanting to stain this a little bit. Is all the idea is here. And again. Yeah. And just dabbing some kitchen roll. And that's what this is doing. It's just pushing it around a little bit. Yeah, I like that now. I'll maybe bring the darker areas up closer to the border of it, of this here. You'll see in a moment, but I want to, okay. I'm a bit happier with this at the moment. Let me just get this darker area back in again. I'm using the cool brush here, and I don't want to put too much on this, so it's just taking the darker area of this tree up closer to the border of this. And you see him here. Aye, yes, I'm feeling a bit better about that now. Yes, I am. Alright, let's lighten up the grasses here. Let's get that part of it. I'm going to use a fan brush for this one. Maybe a small one, not. If I could find one, it's just an old cheap one. There's nothing special about this. Okay. So lots of different colors in this. Greens and oranges, but bright as well. And obviously you have to, oops, too much bright. Pay attention as to where, take a lot of this off. Pay attention as to where the light is. I do know what I'm gonna need a daily reminder to put on my glasses. All right, there we go. I'm gonna thin this out a bit and then thin it out with Galcade and then take a load of it off the brush. And I'm just wanting to leave this behind. Just the strokes of it behind. Okay, now a wee bit more over here and then I'll change the color of it for variation purposes. Yeah, maybe I think I'm using the wrong brush here. Right, so what one? I think I'll use this blending brush and see where it takes me. Yeah, I think I'm happier with this for the time being. All right, now let's get a different color in. Nice orange going on here. I'm just thinking, folks, just thinking out loud. Taking that up into that. I'm not finished with glazing these areas here yet. Just bringing it up into it a little bit. Now, I am just thinking, Some sky, put some of that sky into it. And let me see what we have here. Just dabbing this on, folks. And then I'll come in with a dry brush and spike it a little bit. Is that bright enough for me? Yeah, I think I'm okay with it. As I say, I'll come along later. Spike it a bit. Let me get some of that in here actually. And anywhere else, a little bit over here. Now, I'll come in with the dry brush technique. Now, this is a dry fan brush. It can be any brush. I just picked this up because it was closer. That's the only reason I'm using this. And you just, on a dry brush, you just take that up and it spikes it for you. Makes it look like grasses. You see? Now. It's more apparent down in here. Okay, maybe a bit brighter in certain areas. I'm going to just use this because it's there. Okay. Same dry brush idea. All right. Now what I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to fix this edge here. You see how straight that edge is? I'm going to knock that off. It's definitely something that you need to keep in mind. Nature very rarely creates a straight edge. This here is just shine. That's all that is there. Nature very rarely causes a straight edge. There. I'll just knock that back a little bit. I'll take a little bit off this brush here and just gently work it in. There we'll go. A bit happier with that now. I'm going to work on some of the, let's see a wee hair there. I don't know if it's new or it is new. I'll just take that off now before it gets too intrusive. There we go. Yeah, I want to bring this down a little bit, bring this darkness down a little bit and create a water's edge here. Yeah. Right, so now where's my dark brush? What did I do with it? There it is there. This is a warm painting today, folks. A nice warm sunny day. keep an awful lot of that color. And I want to mess up the edges of this a bit too. I think it's too straight across the air, so I'm just going to mess it up. Create that natural. Again, there's a straight line idea for you. And just creating that, the way nature creates these divots and pits and right across everything. So here we go, here's another one in here and then here. There, now I'm going to be creating the same here, only in the opposite direction, folks. Hope I didn't shout too much. I'm trying to be cognizant of how loud I'm talking. Okay, now I'm scumbling this one on, as in I'm just dragging an almost dry brush down to create those edges. Then knock it back a little bit with a cross stroke. Okay, so my plan here, you see, I suppose you'll see it as it happens, but that white patch will be reflected here and here and here, and a nice big white patch along here, and then more as we move down towards what's going on here. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in the water's edge, and I'm going to use my trusty palette knife. This is just a paint scraper, ordinary paint scraper. There's nothing special about it, but I need to mix up a decent color for what I'm putting down. So let me see. There's blue in that, and there's blue in here. So I'm going to make this a cerulean-y, greeny water's line. I have a feeling that might be a bit too bright, but we'll see. I'll just knock it back a bit. Now all this is a little tester to see where we are. Maybe a bit darker, maybe a bit of ultramarine in it, a little bit of lump black, just to drop the tone a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to try this with the palette knife here, and I think I'll use my trusty maul stick as an IKEA cup holder. Alright, now not too much on this because you can leave all that behind. Nice and, yeah, look at that, that's nice now. I will change this as I'm moving through, as in I will change the tone of this. As I come to here and into these areas, it's going to get brighter because it's in direct line of the light. Now the maul stick is getting in the way. Right, okay, so far so good. Add a little bit of orange to it for variation purposes. Let's come over here, put a nice one. Now what have I done here? I think I've missed that. You see that? Let me, before I go any further, it's funny how sometimes you just don't see things. Before I go any further, let me just cover that up. Strange at times. It leaves a nice orange, red, warm glow around that. Alright, back to the water line. Okay. A little bit more. Actually, that malt stick is putting me off. Hang on, just rest it on the hand. Down at the bottom of your painting has only been glazed, so it's not paint wet, it's medium wet. Alright, okay. Now, a little bit more. I'm going to start coming down into this area. I'm going to change the tone of it in a moment. And let me see what it's like down there. Maybe we'll see. Maybe not change the tone of it. Alrighty, now. There's still a good bit of work to do on this. So all these grasses to put in. I want to put in some twigs in around the trees and stuff just to give it some life. Yeah, still a good bit on this to do. Alright. Now I'm going to put in my white areas here, my lighter areas as in the reflections. I will want a nice little sharp brush if I have one at hand. Not really, actually. So I'm going to have to, where are my sharp brushes? Oh, well, there's one there. So now I'm just going to work this in a little bit. Just a touch. This little area here. Just destroying the edges of that. See? Now let's do the same down in here. All but pure white. A little bit of Galcade in it. Now what I want is it here. Now I have to keep in mind the make sure it's straight down. Alright. Alright. Right here. Bump. Bump, 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 bump. Right across. Okay, now I'm going to be more careful with it here. Just little dibs and dobs wherever I see the reflection happening. Still in a relatively straight line coming down here. All right. Just not being too, trying not to be too perfect with it, but at the same time being better than not. I don't like that at all. Right, dry brush, just removing some of this for the time being. Okay, now that should act as an aura later on, if you know what I mean by that. Just that halation type of thing going on, and the same will happen here. Just lightening this area up, because I messed it up. And then I'm going to come back in again and see now, look at that. That is off. That should be about here. So it should. So let me do that then. Let me see what we have here. wee trick for you. Using the same dry brush, I'm going to have to pick up another one. I'm just going to spread that out like so. There now, it's kind of helped a bit. Straighten that up a bit. Now it's giving me the reflections that I'm after. So let's work on this area. I'm going to work on this area here. I think I maybe want to put in, I'm going to put in the branches here first, and then I'll work on that. So, here we go. I'm going to use some mineral spirits this time, and maybe just pure raw umber. Let me see. Put some of that. Mix it in with some of that purple that I used. A little bit of black. We'll see. See what this looks like. Okay. Needs to be a bit thinner. Easier maneuvered on the canvas. I don't like that. I don't like what I've done there. I will fix it. Maybe a bit thicker. A bit more prominent maybe. So just dig the brush in a little bit. Create a thicker edge. Okay. There's some more on the other side here. I just don't like this. I'm going to knock this back a bit here. And this one here. There we go. Okay. Just a little stick here sticking out. Taking the bottom of that off. And coming up here, and I'll do a nice long one up into here with a relatively thick trunk. There we go. I'm looking on the camera. This area here is just reflection. It's just light reflection, and it is relatively dark here. Alright, okay. Now, let's get this here area here sorted with leaves and, not leaves, twigs and branches and whatnot. Ba-da-ba-da-bee-da-da-da-da-da-do. Alright, let me see. I'm just going to create a thicker area here just so I can throw this. Needs to be a bit thinner. If you're going to be doing it this way, make this consistency of ink-ish consistency. Ink-ish. I've gone a bit too far there as far as the thickness of this is concerned, so I'm going to just coloring this, just coloring. Dear, oh dear, I suppose it is coloring it in, but All right. Now, let's just ruin what I put down. Right? What I mean by that is I'm just blending this bottom area in just a touch, just make it look. Let's dry it up a little bit on there, make it look a little bit fuzzy because it's a reflection. Okay, and there we go. Now I want to work on this area here. I'm going to put in a water line along here. Now it's going to be a bit darker because it's right in the shade here. But you're still going to be able to see it. Or maybe not. Maybe need to be a bit brighter than that, eh, folks? Just an awkward position here and right in front of the camera. There we go. There we go. Yep, I'm happy with that. That turned out quite nice actually. So let's get the grasses in this area. And I don't know where I am with being finished, but I don't think I'm too far from it. Oh no. I need to take a step back and have a wee look. See where I am. Bit much. You have to remember, folks, there's no real mistakes whenever you're doing this. Not really. You just wipe it off. Or you start again. And there's no real right or wrong. Don't listen to those that tell you it has to be this way or it has to be that way. Just try and enjoy the process. There's some silhouetted grasses here up into this area. All right. Now, the only thing left is to fix this this reflection that I'm seeing here. So I think the brush that I had used before will probably have to do. I should have used this the first time instead of the wee thing, but let's see. Okay, now straight down, folks, straight down. I should probably get myself a square, but all right. Now I'm going to use the corner of it this time. Just the corner, just to create these brighter areas. Like, come on, straight down now. Okay, now another one here. And I think maybe that will do it. What I'm going to do is just put this line in here that I like the idea of, and then put some more reflections all over it. we go. I think that might do it. I hope you enjoyed that, folks. And I think I'll see you again soon enough. No, I'm not done. I'm just going to fix this area here, and then I'll be done. Right, yeah, I'm not done yet, folks, not done yet. Nearly, but not quite. I forgot about this area here. So I did bumpity bum, right about here-ish. And then a nice one right here. Bump, 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 bump. That'll do. That's dead on. Happy enough with this now. Right, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you again soon enough. All the best.